What if the villain of Us is actually the only honest person in the film? And what if the hero we've been rooting for actually stole her entire life? In this video we're not going to focus on the twist at the end of Us, because the twist isn't the point. The point is what Jordan Peele is saying about identity, guilt, and America in general. Us follows Adelaide Wilson, who returns to the same Santa Cruz beach where she experienced a traumatic encounter as a child. While on holiday with her husband Gabe and their 2 children, that buried past resurfaces in the most horrifying way imaginable. One night, a family appears out of nowhere in their driveway, dressed in red, silent, and identical to them. We end up finding out this group are called the Tethered. Each member of the Wilson family is forced to confront a violent double of themselves, and what begins as a home invasion movie slowly unravels into something much larger. A nationwide uprising of underground doppelgängers who have lived in the shadows, forgotten and abandoned, mirroring the lives of those above. In the final act, Adelaide kills her doppelganger Red and rescues her son Jason. As they escape, the truth is revealed. Through flashbacks, we learn that as a child, Adelaide didn't simply encounter her double, she switched places with her. The real Adelaide, the girl from above, was dragged underground and became Red. The girl we followed the entire film was originally one of the Tethered. As the family drives away, Jason looks at his mother differently, almost knowingly. The camera lingers on Adelaide's face. Not triumphant, but haunted. She knows that her son knows who she really is. Us forces you to sit with a very uncomfortable thought. If you were in the same terrible situation as Adelaide and you saw a way out by swapping with someone at such a young age, would you do it? Jordan Peele is willing to go there and put the viewer in a really unsettling position. We can sit there and think Adelaide was terrible for what she did, what she caused, what she stole. But what makes Us so fascinating is you cannot make the statement that Adelaide was evil for this. She was human for this. She was flawed. She was desperate. She was young. She destroyed another life to save her own, but she didn't have the necessary experience and knowledge to know exactly what she was doing. Us is a very creepy horror film, but my god does it go further than that, slowly but surely unleashing this incredibly unique idea which makes us as a viewer think. I honestly find Jordan Peele's style fascinating. He's found a way to combine conventional horror with human philosophical ideas, normally saved for drama. But the genius of the ending is it doesn't allow you to align yourself with either side. Adelaide is both victim and perpetrator. Red is both antagonist and the wronged party. And the film refuses to tell you which one deserves your sympathy more. Instead, it leaves you with a lingering unease, because you're forced to recognise that under slightly different circumstances, you could have been either one of them. That's so disturbing and powerful to me. What's so well done is that when you first meet Red and the Tethered, your assessment is simple. These people are insane, they're evil, there's no grey area, there's no way you can ever feel sympathy for them. And then somehow, some way, Jordan Peele slowly brings that sympathy out of you. And that's because the writing here is genuinely brilliant, gradually peeling back the layers of a world that is completely different from anything you initially thought you were watching.
What are you people? We're Americans.
As the film unfolds, we are forced to sit with the idea that survival can come at the expense of someone else's humanity. The Tethered aren't monsters. They aren't driven by cruelty for cruelty's sake. They're the abandoned, the forgotten, the people left behind. Their violence isn't random. It's born out of deprivation, neglect, and a lifetime of being denied basic agency. When Red creepily says, "We're Americans," it sends shivers down your spine, because suddenly these aren't just monsters or figures of horror, these are people too. They have rights, they have feelings, and they've been ignored, not because no one knew they existed, but because it was easier to look away than to do the difficult work of repairing what was broken. Us teaches us a lot about empathy by forcing us to realise that there is likely someone out there right now, someone just like you, who doesn't deserve the circumstances they were born into. But then it would just be a roll of the dice for you to end up like them. They could literally be the equivalent of you. Once you've been forced into this place of radical empathy, the final reveal doesn't feel like a clever twist. It suddenly feels very tragic. The knowledge that Adelaide and Red swapped places as children doesn't resolve the story, it complicates it. It confirms that the life Adelaide built was only possible because someone else was condemned to live below, forgotten and voiceless. There's also no justice at the end. Red doesn't get her life back. Adelaide doesn't lose the one she stole. Instead, the film leaves us with the uncomfortable truth that survival often comes at a cost that someone else is forced to pay. By the time we're actually able to recognise the humanity of the Tethered, it's already too late to undo the damage. Of course, the methods the Tethered take are undeniably horrific, and the film never asks us to excuse that. What they do is evil, and responsibility still exists. At the same time, they represent the lost, the rejected, the forgotten. How is someone who has been denied choice, denied opportunity, denied even a real identity, supposed to suddenly make better moral decisions? How can you ask for humanity from people whose very existence has been denied entirely by someone else's life, someone else's comfort, someone else's story? And this is where Us becomes less about monsters and more about humanity as a species. So much suffering in the world doesn't come from cartoonish evil or deliberate cruelty, but from neglect. The film wrestles with the idea of responsibility, but also with the possibility of forgiveness. Not because anyone is innocent, but because everyone is implicated. And again, that line, "we're Americans," it's not just about the Tethered. You think it is at the time, but actually it's everyone in the film. The ones above ground, the ones below. The victims and the perpetrators, the people who benefit and the people who pay the price. There is no clean side here. A shared identity and a shared guilt is what's going on between everyone in the film. That final look between Adelaide and her son is a moment of recognition, a silent acknowledgement of who she really is and what it took for her to get to this point. Us ends by asking us whether understanding and witnessing is enough, or whether empathy without action simply becomes another form of silence. I genuinely love to know, when that final reveal happens, do you feel betrayed by Adelaide or do you understand her? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoy videos breaking down films like this, unpacking the endings, the hidden meanings, the uncomfortable human truths underneath the surface, then make sure you're subscribed for more videos just like this.